Hey guys, how you doing? Just doing a quick video for you guys. I had a lot of people ask me to do a few videos on like how we repair phones and stuff, so I thought I would. So I'm here at Spectral Gaming and Electronics, my shop. My name is David, and yeah, let me get into it right now and just break it down for you guys, okay? So this is like an old school iPhone 6s. It's just chilling, so I figured I'd open it up for you guys to show you how we do it. iPhones, it's good to heat them up a little bit. You don't necessarily have to, but it's definitely makes it a little bit easier, especially if you're trying to maintain the glue around it. So just have my little heat gun here and go around the edge. You don't have to heat them up as much as other brands. I don't even know if you can hear me over this heat gun, but we're going to warm it up, okay? And one thing you can do actually before you heat it up too hot is take off the two little pentalobe screws here. So I'm going to take these off. And all iPhones are very similar, right? They haven't really changed much in the last 10 years as far as the assembly goes. Now, you'll have a lot of things different, and I can show you that, but the principle is the same. You heat it up a little bit. Unless you're just really talented, you can do it without heating it up. And I like to use a little razor. Now, this one has a home button, so you got to be very careful, okay? I don't recommend you actually open up your iPhones because, one, you avoid your warranty, and two, yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, you can absolutely screw up your phone permanently. And certain things you can't fix, like this thumbprint reader, it's not fixable. If you break it, that's it. That's a wrap. So I'm kind of having a little trouble because I'm doing this under the camera, but hopefully you can see it. It's a little tough to do under the camera, actually. I'm not used to this angle. There we go. So we have it open a little bit. Now I'm going to get my little tool here and I pry that open so that I can stick this in here. And then what I like to do is just twist a little bit. And you start to see it open. Now, you don't want to bend the screen too much because otherwise it'll break. So if you're fixing an already broken screen, that's one thing. But like if you're trying to open a screen just to replace a battery or do something like that, you don't want to break the screen. There's nothing wrong with this screen. So I don't want to break it, okay? We'll just slide it along. Be very, very careful of this home button, because if you pop that, you're out of luck, okay? And just be patient with it, okay? You can go along the side. We'll run this along the side, and it starts to come up a little bit. Now there's little brackets that kind of hold and hinge this together. And that's what you're looking to kind of find and undo right at those points, right? So that you avoid breaking this screen. Yeah, awesome. Just slide that down and continue to do the same thing. Now this is a 6, so it's going to hinge from the top. But you got to be careful because there's little flex cables here that connect the screen to the actual board, and you don't want to like jack those up. You don't want to cut into them, you don't want to tear them. And I'm doing this nice and slow because I'm at a weird angle to try to keep this under the camera for you guys. But yeah, as you can see how it's coming up? That's what you want right there, okay? And yeah, there you go. And see, you can have it on like this when you do this, so that you can monitor the screen and make sure you're not messing up the LCD. And then you can look inside. You see there's no ribbon cable sticking out that you're about to tear, right? You see that? If you're more comfortable, you can turn it off like this, but it's not going to matter Right, so I'm going to leave it on for now so you can see what we're doing. Okay, hola. And we just have a little more prying to do because we don't want to break anything. Okay. And then it will hinge up. Okay, and there we go. See how I got that last bit right here? And then as it comes up, I try to take these little stickies and we'll reattach them here, or you can use a new one. But the new ones aren't as good as like the ones that come with the phone. So if you can maintain that, it's better. And then right here, you see where it connects. Right, that's the hinge. You don't want to let this fall all the way back because you could tear that. So you want to hold this here. But that's what the inside of your iPhone looks like. At least the 6. A lot of them. When you go up to like the 7 and the 8 and the 9, or not, there's not a 9, but a 7 to 8, and then you got the 10s and the XRs and the 11s and all that. They hinge here, so the ribbon cable is going to be on this side. But it's basically very similar, right? Now, all the screws in the iPhone are different. I don't know why they do that, but you have to keep track of where they're at because you don't want to take screws out from the wrong place. So if you look really close, I'll see if I can show you guys this. If you look really close right here, those are Phillips screws, right? And most of them in here are Phillips. Yeah, I don't think I have any tri-tips. But you got different kinds of heads too. So like let's say I want to undo this screen. Okay, I'm going to take these off. And I actually have a special mat for this, but I'm going to lay it here for you guys. I would undo these screws, and I'm going to put them in the exact position, mirroring the spot from where I took them from. I use a mat that has little numbered holes so that I know exactly where it is, because that's like a really big deal. Ooh, someone chatting to me? See the chat. I see you guys are here. So, there we go. So see these 2 screws, if you can see this on the camera, I hope you can. Maybe I can focus on that real quick. So let me get this so you can see. So this screw is like really long. Can y'all see that? And the screw it's right next to, it's like a baby. It's like super tiny, like baby length, okay? A tiny little length. It's like you can't even see. I can't even get the camera to focus on it. And the issue here is there's a logic board right under here. That's like a motherboard for a computer, okay? If I were to put the long screw in the wrong hole and tighten it down, I would drill right into the logic board and probably screw something up. You could get really unlucky really fast. So that's why you have to be very careful and remember where all these screws go, because you screwed up real fast, literally, no pun intended. Okay, so I put this exactly where I found it. Same thing with this. And again, I do not recommend you do this. This is just for entertainment purposes. I am not liable for you destroying your phone. But if you do, bring it to me, I'll fix it. Alright, here we go. But you have to pay full price and extra because you destroyed it yourself. Charge you double. Just kidding. Alright, so now that I've taken off this little heat plate, I use something plastic, like this little spatula thing, and smudger or whatever they're called. And I'm going to lift up these little Lego connectors. Okay? And you want to be careful not to damage anything else when you do this. Alright? But I'm taking it real slow because we're on stream. And you know, all the weird stuff happens on stream. There we go. There's 3 of them, okay? You've got the screen, the digitizer, and the speakers. Alright. And there's a little glue left here, and we got that. So there, the screen is now separated from that. Alright? Now this phone is like a throwaway phone. So normally I would break down all of this. You'd want to disconnect the battery first and all that, especially when you're reconnecting stuff. But this is just so you guys can see how the screen comes off. Okay? The battery's over here, this big black thing. Never puncture this. If you ever have a phone open and some metal scratches the battery, the ethical thing is just take the battery out, because you're going to create problems that could explode. You would want to undo this first before you ever work on your phone. This is where the battery is. You would want to disconnect that before you ever plug anything into it or do anything crazy like that. But that's basically how it works. So yeah, I hope you guys like this little video. That is how you take apart your phone. You've got your speaker here. You've got, this is your Taptic engine. This is what makes your phone vibrate. It just goes back and forth. Now this part of your screen is your little speaker, right? But in the newer phones, this would also have your Face ID. So you have to be very careful with this. That's another thing. Any part that is used for identification, whether it's like the fingerprint on the home button or the Face ID, those are not replaceable. You can't fix those. So that's just a security thing from Apple.